Welcome, everyone, to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about dating ups and downs and how to navigate through it. Today, my guest is Susan Bratton, intimacy expert to million. Susan is a champion and advocate for all who desire passionate relationship. Flashes of brilliance pop like paparazzi as Susan rolls out one relation epiphany after another. When she describes how love and intimacy can transcend what media portrays, you see the path to more intimacy and pleasure that you've been getting. Susan, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. I've been looking forward for this podcast for weeks. How are you?
Aw, thank you, Will. That's so nice. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and energy. That's just the best. Thank you. It's filling me up with joy.
Oh, hey, listen, it's the same here. You know, I'm only as good as my guests. So Susan, how did you get here? What was Susan Bratton's trip to become a relationship coach to help men please their women?
Yeah.
How did Susan get here?
Well, I'm not really a relationship coach. And I'm not a therapist.
Okay.
I don't work with anybody one-on-one. What I
Okay.
do is I'm the
Gotcha.
CEO and figurehead, if you will, and more than a figurehead, the face
I think so, yes.
of a company called Personal Life Media. And Personal Life Media, we're publishers of passionate lovemaking techniques and bedroom communication skills. And I also run a company called The 20, which is we manufacture supplements, sexual vitality supplements for people who want to increase their libido, their desire, their arousal, their pleasure. And I got here because basically in my early 40s, my husband and I hit a really rough patch in our marriage due to the fact that we weren't having great sex.
Mhm.
In that he thought it was great, but I didn't, and I didn't want to
Mhm.
have it. And I kind of used all the excuses and shied away, and he was super frustrated. So we decided to do something about it because we saw all our friends getting divorced, and we knew it wasn't money because everybody we knew had jobs. We lived in the Silicon Valley and we were doing well financially.
Right.
And so we thought, well, we don't want to go the way of our friends where they're just going to get married to somebody new and somebody new and somebody new and somebody younger and somebody younger and somebody younger, and in the hopes that they'll want to keep having sex, when we knew ultimately what we learned was that you're not born knowing how to have sex. You do and can figure out how to make a baby, but that's
Right.
not good lovemaking.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I like to say that I do is I help people transform having sex into making love. And that was what was really missing for me, was that sex was just this way that my husband got a release and I didn't. And I didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And so we decided that what we needed to do was essentially learn how to have good sex. So we turned to Amazon, we read some books. But what we realized is that we wanted to do some in-person workshops. So we started taking human awareness workshops. We started taking sex, love, and intimacy workshops. We started taking tantric lovemaking workshops. We went to Tony Robbins and walked on fire and did Date with Destiny and learned our relationship values. And we realized that that was really what had been missing, was that in our culture, in all cultures, nobody really teaches you how to make love. They
Right.
teach you, to be afraid of sex, to be abstinent, all these things. But we imbue shame. We do a lot of traumatizing. But what we don't teach is how to have passionate lovemaking together, how to have deeply heart connected, intimate, conscious, communicative lovemaking, learning lots of orgasm techniques and pleasuring skills and oral pleasuring and sensual massage and having really fun experiences together. And so when we saw how easy it was to have great sex, we said, God, we were internet tech people. We said, we need to bring what's in these workshops to people all over the world, wherever they live, because we spent like 30 grand going to all these workshops, and
Wow.
people don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And so we started Personal Life Media as a way that people could digitally download audios, videos, and ebooks that taught these different techniques and skills. And that's how I really got my start. And that's what I do to this day. And I have helped millions of people learn how to connect their heart into their sexuality and expand their intimacy and pleasure.
Well, listen, I and folks, I'll put up in the show notes, Susan's website and Instagram. She has amazing videos. Her website is full of good products that we'll definitely talk about a little later. So, is it possible, Susan, that men are the culprits of not learning how to make love to a woman the proper way? Are we uh inundated with porn that's the way to make love to a woman, is just drill her in and out, and then that's it? Sorry to be vulgar, but
That's
I,
not vulgar.
well, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I totally know what you mean. Yeah, I think porn is definitely a part of it. I mean, if you think about, first of all, I don't think it's anybody's fault,
Right.
except that in our culture, we have a lot of religious repression. We have a lot of sexual trauma. We have a lot of sexual shame. We have a lack of education, which creates fear and anxiety and performance anxiety. And then on top of that, we have our media, movies, et cetera, that are either taking things down to like the 10 ways to do blah, 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 like stupid stuff, or it's pornography, which is very degrading to women and not what women are looking for at all. But I
Right.
actually think it goes deeper than that, Will.
Mhm.
So one thing that I think is that it is our own responsibility ourselves, individually, each of us, to look at our sexual growth and maturation as our own job and responsibility. It wasn't your
Mhm.
parents' job, your school, your church, your anything. It's your job to decide if you want to be a sexual master and have incredible pleasure with yourself and others. So you decide that. And there are a lot of people who don't take responsibility for anything. They're victims and they play the blame game, and I can't help them. I can only help the people who are like, oh, it's my job. Okay, what do I need to know? Tell me what I need to know.
Right.
So the thing is that our sexuality, as we mature, gets better and better our whole life long. Our best sex comes when we're 60, 70, and 80 if we keep ourselves in good health. I'm 61 and I'm having the best sex of my life, the most incredible orgasms, the most heart connection, the most passion, the most fun. I've got the cutest lingerie. I have fun, sexy times all the time, and I love it. And it fuels me. It fuels my creativity. It fuels my lust for life. It helps me with my hormones and my neurotransmitters and my mood and my energy. And I have super athletic sex. I love to do different sex positions. I love to do all kinds of stuff. I can ride cock like nobody's business. I've got energy. It's just like I know
Yeah.
how to make myself orgasm. I don't need you to do it. I'm not passive. I'm active. I've got tons of ideas. I'm always coming up with crazy, fun new ideas. That's what sex should be like for everyone. And I want to model that so that people are like, oh, Jesus. Okay, well, Granny's making me feel ashamed about myself and all the shitty job I'm doing. Now I better step it up. That's what I'm looking for people. And me telling you that this is available to you and that you can do it yourself, and getting out of this victim, like my parents never did anything. They never, it's like it wasn't their job. You wouldn't have listened to them. They
Right.
lived in a different era. We are in the now. That's number one. Number two is that, and this whole notion of what does a guy need to know to do a good job? I really like the direction that you chose, Will, because women are even more shamed and more oppressed than our guys. At least there's space for men to have a sexuality. There isn't even
Right.
really space for women to have sexuality. And so young women are fighting for their right to not be slut shamed, etc. But what happens is that in our culture, we are still being served up, force fed, what I would call the patriarchal view of sex, which
Mm.
is that sex means intercourse and that intercourse is what sex is about. And I don't think that, in fact, that's serving anyone
Mm.
to their ultimate benefit. And that's because when you think about the masculine, he's born with a penis, he's testosterone dominant. If he's healthy, he's horny every day. He wakes up with a morning erection. He has 4 to 6 erections all night long. He has testosterone baths in the morning and the afternoon that make him horny and keep him horny. He masturbates every day or so because he needs to keep his sperm topped up at a biological level. He's just driven to do that.
Right.
And he is touching his genitals and thinking about sex all the time. Women are on, and he gets aroused really quickly. Like basically, if he's healthy and he thinks a dirty thought, and I don't even think they're dirty, I don't even like that word really, but he
Right.
thinks a sexy thought, he gets an erection. He's ready to go. He's ready for intercourse. Where women are on a 28-day cycle, we're estrogen dominant, and we are prey, not predators. Men predate us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are worried about things. And estrogen makes us multitaskers, where our testosterone male body partners are full speed ahead. Let's go. Let's get the needle in the haystack. Let's hit the bullseye. I've got a dick. It's sticking straight out. It is a heat-seeking missile, and it wants to get inside your vagina.
Right.
And she is 28-day cycle. She's doesn't feel safe. She has to worry about the STIs. She's got to worry about getting pregnant. She's worried. And she goes into a 5-day horny window about 9 days after the start of her period. She enters into her ovulation cycle, which is when she's the most horny, though she could be excited to have sex at any day of the month. She's got kind of this window, this 5-day horny window. I've got a video on that on my betterlover.com website about how to know, even figure it out even after menopause.
Okay.
And she's not ready for penetration. She takes a long time to get lubricated. She takes a long time for the blood to get into her clitoral body, which is this big, it fits in the palm of your hand. It's not that little tip that you see. It's actually this giant, almost looks like an organ that is inside her vulva. And that's one of 3 erectile tissue systems she has. So she is a slow filler of her blood. So she needs a clitoral erection, but she never quite gets there because she gets penetrated too fast. And then she's disappointed in sex because she doesn't have an orgasm from intercourse, because she doesn't have enough blood flow yet to actually have an orgasm from intercourse. Add to that women believe that they are not able to have orgasms from intercourse. Oh, you have to touch the clitoris. Oh, it has to be. No, the clitoris is actually wrapped entirely around the vagina. The tip of the clitoris is above the vagina, and it loves stimulation, but it's not. If you just attack the clit at the tip and you don't get it full of blood, and she doesn't get this full engorgement like you have so fast, and it takes her 20 or 30 minutes. If you stick your penis in her too soon, she's just not going to enjoy it. And so she's going to think that's what sex is. Sex is I'm violated too quickly and never enjoy it. And that happens to her over and over and over and over because men don't understand the female body. And that's why I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it here. Because if I can say one thing to guys, it's slow down and get focused on her genital engorgement. Kiss her, play with her breasts, stroke her nipples, rub her belly, squeeze her ass, stroke her thighs, kiss the insides of her thighs, stroke the mons, stroke the outer labia, touch the inner labia gently, swipe your fingers across the clitoral hood, kiss her vulva, tell her she's beautiful, tell her she smells good, tell her you love the way she tastes, tell her everything is fine and she can relax. Ask her what feels good. What does she want in the moment? Would you like me to go down on you? Are you ready for it? Do you need me to use some lube? Is the room warm enough? How's the lighting? Do you like this music? Would you like a glass of water? Let's just slow down. I really appreciate being with you. I think you're so beautiful. I'm so drawn to you. You're attractive to me because I love your long hair. I love your pretty face. Your eyes are so beautiful. I love your ass. I love the way your body feels. I'm so honored to be here with you. And I want to do whatever your body is telling you it wants in the moment. I am just here to serve the goddess. I'm in no hurry at all. It's easy for me to have pleasure with you. Everything I do is a pleasure with you. So let's just take our time and slow down. Get here, come here and let me hold you and let me stroke your hair. And you just tell me about your day. There's no hurry here. I mean, if a woman gets that kind of love and connection and support support and relaxation and adoration and calming. Let me help you get into your body. Let me help you let everything go. You're safe here with me now. I think you're absolutely gorgeous, and it is my honor to pleasure you and come you as much as you want to come. And we'll get to intercourse. There's no hurry at all. You can play with my dick. I'll play with your pussy. We'll have a good time. And hey, if we don't have intercourse, we'll have it later. If we get
Right.
hungry, we'll go eat. There's no pressure for me to get inside you at any time until you are ready, until your body tells me she wants me in there. You tell me when, and I am here for you. If a woman
Wow.
hears that, she's like, oh my God, now that's the guy I want to have sex with. He makes me feel safe and not used and abused and penetrated, practically raped, because he can't wait to get in and pound the shit out of me. I don't want pounding. Not now. I want to be loved. I want to be made
Right.
love to. I want to be warmed up. And so when I say to guys, slow down, start from the outside and work your way in like a bullseye. You don't want to go for the creamy middle. You want to start with the outer ring and then the middle ring. You want to slowly arouse her and warm her up. Take your time. This is what she's dying for, that she never gets.
So, Susan, how long would or should foreplay come into at the beginning of our relationship? So even when we're with someone for 2, 3, 4 years, because some people say foreplay should be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Does it depend on the woman's arousal, for her body to be aroused? Does it take that long, 10, 15, 20 minutes longer? What say you?
Well, I would basically say that foreplay is even an incorrect term these days.
Okay.
If you're thinking about it's foreplay and sex, then you're still focused on penetration,
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
right? Because now there's that distinction between foreplay and sex being penetration. Instead, think about the entire experience being sex, because for
Mm.
her, and for you, when you learn how to do it and you get good at it, the foreplay is as pleasurable as the penetration. All of these things can be orgasmic the entire time. You
Right.
can give me an orgasm kissing me. You can give me an orgasm kissing my neck. You can give me an orgasm sucking on my nipples or stimulating my nipples or my breasts. I mean, we are multi-orgasmic creatures. There are 20 different kinds of orgasm the female and male body
Mm.
can have. So when you get out of the mindset of foreplay and sex and you get into, oh, the whole thing is sex. Actually, the whole thing is called love making. We're making love to each other. So who cares how long it takes? Because every single day she's different. Some days it's going to be 10 minutes. Some days it's going to be 40 minutes before she's ready for the intercourse portion. And one of the things that I like to talk about, I call it my dope flow sex date.
Okay.
Especially early in a relationship when you're super hot for each other and you're still learning, like the first 6 months, it really takes 6 months to get good together and to learn each other's bodies and what we like and, kind of our go-to strategies, and then begin to build on what's working and expand our ability to pleasure each other. When you're really hot for each other, it could be that she can't wait to have you inside her. And they're like, but wait, Susan Bratton said I shouldn't be penetrating you yet because you're going to get all pissed off after I do it because you're not engorged. It's okay to do it and, 3-5 minutes of that and then pull out and then have her play with your cock and then go down on her and then do 69 and then have a little more intercourse and then try a sex position you've never tried and try a toy and, like all that stuff. What you want to be thinking about is it's not, I kiss her, I squeeze her boobs, I stick it in. What you want to be doing is we're making out. It's super hot. She's stroking my cock. I'm playing with her boobs. Then I give her a Yoni massage, Yoni being her vulva, tantric
Okay.
word for the female genitals, Yoni, Yoni. By the way, I have a new site on OnlyFans. It's onlyfans.com/Susan Bratton.
Okay.
And on there, I can post the things that Instagram won't let me post. It's a social media site. You have to give it your credit card, but they don't charge you anything. You just have to own a credit card. So they keep young kids out that way. You have to own a credit card to get in, but you don't
Gotcha.
have to pay for anything. You can buy what you want to buy from people who are there posting things. Like I post my lingerie boudoir things and I charge for those because I want to be a sexy 60s sexpert, right? I want to be representative of how beautiful women can be in their old age.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. But remind me Yoni massage because I want to finish that sentence.
Yeah, I have it here.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a compliment because one, I never guessed you're 61. When I saw that, when you said, I was like stunned. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you look amazing. So when
Thanks,
people see your picture and look at Susan's Bratton's Instagram page, my God, this woman looks amazing. So we were talking about Yoni massage.
Yoni massage.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes. So I posted on my OnlyFans a Yoni massage explainer. It's a picture of a female vulva or yoni. Yoni is the word for female genital system, with arrows to every single part and how it likes to be touched. Because I think it's really important to touch the body the way the body needs to be touched, and different parts of her genitals want different types of touch. So you can get that on OnlyFans. And also all this information I've been talking about the clit being the tip of the clit being like the tip of the iceberg, that it's all this buried underneath her skin. It's good to know what the clit actually looks like. So I have a bunch of diagrams and I actually have pictures of clitorises out of the body. You can see what it looks like. It's pretty amazing. When you can visualize it, you can stimulate it better. So, but I can't post that on Instagram. So I posted on OnlyFans. So I just wanted to let your listeners know that that's a resource that's been super popular with men and women, because people are starting to know that they can't just grab a boob and stick it in. They need to warm their woman up if they want her to keep having sex with them. She needs this kind of full body touch, this slow warm up. And when she's ready, she'll let you know. And some days she's ready earlier than other days. And that's why it's very important for you to be able to have your woman tell you anything she needs or wants in any moment without you contracting, taking it like it was criticism, being like, you don't have to tell me, I know what to do. Like, fuck you. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Just step down. It's your testosterone making you think you know what to do. You don't know, because she doesn't know, from day to day, because she's on a 28-day cycle. She's different every day. She has to ask her own body what it wants, and then give it voice and tell it to you so you can win. What you want is to give her incredible pleasure. You want to be respected for a job well done. You want her to come back begging you for more sex all the time. And the way to do that is to understand that in her body, it's not steady state. She's not like you are every day. I need to get sex. I gotta get sex. That's how you are.
Right.
She's like not there yet. You can get her there. And then honestly, she'll have a bigger sexual appetite than you will. She's going to need a couple of guys if you really get her turned on, because she's going to wear them out. And then at the end, after she's had sex with a couple of them, she's going to get her vibrator out and be like, can you guys play with my boobs while I get myself off a few more times? Because I don't quite have all my comes out of me. So it's pretty amazing what the woman can do when she's not pushed like a man, treated like a man. When you let a woman be a woman, holy cow, she sexually explodes. And that's what men want. They just aren't in our bodies. And so that's why I like to tell guys, okay, here's how to do it. And then when they do it, they're like, oh my God, Suze, that worked. And I'm like, what worked? And you told me to slow down. I'm like, I did. Good for you. It worked.
So before we get home, let's say, and a woman's here or a woman's working, is sexting can that be part of our foreplay also? Maybe trying to get her aroused during the workday, maybe sending her. I'm not saying dick pics or anything, but maybe
no dick pics. Yeah.
right.
Women don't like that.
I think that's
That guys want to be appreciated for their dicks, and they want pussy pictures. So that's why they send dick pics, is they want a reciprocity, but they don't understand that. I mean, I don't mind. Guys ask me all the time. That's one of the reasons I started OnlyFans, is that guys are like, "Can you tell me if my dick looks good?" And I'm like, "Sure, I can, but I don't want to get my Instagram shut down. Don't be sending me dick pics there, So
right.
I don't mind, but this is what I do for a living.
Right. So, like I said, maybe sending sexy, words on texting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Would that help to
Yeah.
get an arousal going throughout the day? Maybe, hey, I can't wait till I get home because I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. Would that also be part of the intimacy, love making process?
Here's the trick. So what a woman wants is an equal number of things that show you desire her sexually, and things you appreciate about her that are non-sexual, reasons you adore her and appreciate her. If you send too many of just the sex things, she's going to be like, what am I just your fuck doll? That's disgusting. You're pissing me off. You have to do them in like, look, I love your turkey meatloaf. Your ass is so hot to me. Like, that is how a woman doesn't get offended by the sexy part. You have to balance it out. It's a scale that has to be, can't tip in one direction too far. Where what men want, you want to be respected for a job well done. You want to know you did a good job. That's what you want. You guys are the doers. So I think that's important to know. And there are two resources I want to give your listeners as well. One is, it's a book that I wrote. I call it Dirty Talk, but it's actually how to talk dirty without being weird or offensive. It's at dirtytalkbook.com. And I give you 5 ways that you can give her compliments and adoration and worship and appreciation. And I tell you exactly what to say. And then you can personalize them for your way that you like to communicate. But I explain the concept, and then I give you examples. So that's free. dirtytalkbook.com. And the other one is how to take feedback without taking it personally, not taking it as failure, but understanding that she lives in a body that's different every second, where you're so much more steady state. And what you have to do is get her to the point where she's constantly telling you what her body wants, getting her to trust her body's intuition, listen to herself, and feel comfortable telling you that you love her to tell you what she wants. You're always interested in every moment. If something doesn't feel good, how to change it. If something she wants, how to give it to her. And that is at Sexual Soulmate Pact, PACT, Sexual Soulmate Pact, like an agreement between lovers that you're going to have this really open bedroom communication, because all that feedback makes you the masterful lover. It's the secret. When you get her telling you what she really wants in every moment, and you just give it to her, holy shit, you're just like the best lover she ever had. It's the secret.
Gotcha. So that's sexualsoulmatepact.com.
PACT, Pact. Yep.
Pact. Susan, I know we're short on time here, so I just wanted to ask you 1 or 2 more questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are men afraid to ask women what they want? Have you noticed that when you talk to men or be in front of men, maybe whether it's a buddy of yours or whatever, that we might be afraid to ask a woman, hey, what do you want? Because I remember some of my women friends would say, oh, a man should know what to do. And, it's like you're telling us, well, not really, we need to know what you want, because every woman's different. So have you found that men are afraid to ask, hey, what do you want? Do you like me to go down on you? Do you want me to play with this? Again, sorry that I'm all over the place.
No, you're not all over the place. These are the perfect questions. Men actually don't even think about asking because they think they know. Testosterone makes you overly confident, and you think you're a 9 and you're a 6.5. but you think you're a 9 and you think you know. So it doesn't even dawn on you to ask. That's most guys. And women are the opposite, where they're worry warts and they don't think they're as good as they are, and they don't think they know what they want. And because we don't watch a lot of porn, we're not thinking about sex, we're not masturbating every day. We're just kind of like most women, that they don't even know what to ask for. So they don't feel like they can say anything because they don't even know what they want. They have to be encouraged to listen to their intuition and rewarded for doing so and speaking up. And that's called masculine sexual leadership. When you are able to guide her to be sexually self-expressed and trust her body's wisdom, and then you leverage that information and reward her and thank her for telling you, she begins to trust you and trust herself. And that's what the Sexual Soulmate Pact is about.
Okay, no, that's great. Well, first of all, Susan, I wanted to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. I
Oh,
really
thank you for
appreciate.
having me.
No, please, it's my honor. So, anything else you want to promote? If you want to talk about your programs, anything like that, I talk more about the supplements, because that was pretty interesting when I looked at it on your website.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to send them to you. Just email me your address. I have 2 supplements that really work together. One is a supplement called Flow, Flow. And the cheapest place you can get it, that I always use on podcasts, so it's like the best pricing for it, is not at my main website. It's at buyflownow.com. And it's a nitric oxide booster that sends blood flow to the genitals, as well as the brain, the heart, and all the other parts. And what it does is it gives you a firmer erection, and it helps her engorge her clitoris more easily. And it also helps her get lubricated faster. And it's all organic fruits and vegetable derived. So that was very important to me too. And then the second one is called Desire, and it's a daily vitamin multi-mineral complex with libido botanicals built in. And I have 3 different flavors, if you will. One is with tonkat ali, one is with tribulus terrestris, and one is with fenugreek. Because when you're using libido botanicals to increase your libido and desire, what you're really doing is you're working on things like the hormonal system. And when you use botanicals, if you just take them all the time, the effect wears off. But if you cycle between 3 different ones, it keeps your libido high. So that's at buydesirenow.com. Is the cheapest place to get that. So those are 2, and they work synergistically together. You need the vitamins and minerals for unbinding your hormones from their binding receptors and things like that, making them bioavailable. So a lot of people are producing hormones that they're not utilizing because they're low in things as simple as a mineral called boron. So daily multivitamin, multimineral with the libido botanicals built in is a very good thing. It's like a foundation. I don't build fancy shit in my supplement business that's like frosting on the cake, cherry on top. I build the cake. You got to have the basics. Most people aren't even doing the basics. So that's what I do.
Okay, no, definitely. I'll definitely put that in the show notes. A couple more questions. I just want to ask you one more question. How important is a man's health, especially when we get older and past 50s? Because I think you mentioned that earlier, because it seems like if we're out of shape, we're going to be tired quicker and all that. If you could talk at least a couple of seconds about a man's health, especially when they get older.
Yeah, well, everyone's health. I mean, unless you're exercising and eating good vegetables and having healthy nutrition, getting your blood flowing, getting your heart pumping, keeping your muscles strong, then you're dying. You're going down. You're going downhill. You're going to do less and less. You're going to get brain fog. You have to stay healthy. I work out pretty much every day. I do something, whether it's riding my mountain bike, going to yoga, or going to the gym. And I cook my own vegetables and eat at home, because takeout food is really, it's death in plastic for so many. I mean, it's hormone disruptors, seed oils, crappy industrial food. I mean, you have to learn how to cook and you have to work out. And that goes for all people across the gender spectrum of all bodies, sizes, types, etc. And again, it's like the fundamentals. I can talk to you about all kinds of things to make your penis better, like using a vacuum erection device, a penis pump. You can go to
Mhm.
to talk about reversing atrophy, increasing your firmness, and enlarging your penis. Your penis shrinks as you age. And if you started out with a small one, you're going to get a really small one. If you have a medium one, and you want it a little bigger, even if you have a giant penis and you want the shaft thicker or the head larger or whatever, pumps work really well. And I've written a whole book on it that's in its second edition. 30,000 copies have been downloaded. I help guys with that all the time because their erections start to get bendy, and the pump is the single cheapest, easiest, best thing you can do for your penile health.
And that's pumpingguide.com.
.com.
Okay.
Pumpingguide.com.
And talk
Yeah.
about your book.
Which one?
Anyone. I mean, my God, there's a collection. I saw at least 20 that I could think of. Let's talk about the 30,000 one that got downloaded. Let's talk more about that one.
The Pumping Guide.
The pumping guide. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that seems like that might be the most popular one for men. And what's the best way to contact you?
Best way to contact me would be probably just email me through OnlyFans,
Okay.
onlyfans.com/Susan Bratton. I honestly, I get so much email, DMs, etc., that the best way to get my attention if you have a question or you want some help with something is to put a little tip in that thing. They go to
Gotcha.
the top. And
Gotcha.
I do them first, and the other ones I get to as fast as I can. So I really try to help everyone, but I literally am inundated. I mean, yesterday my hands were sore from responding to people.
Wow. Well, I mean, first of all, Susan, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to
Yeah, Will.
people on dating. I had such a great time with you. I could talk to you for another hour.
I'll come back.
Again, okay, definitely. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, that was Susan Bratton, and you can find her at susanbratton.com. Susan, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. Much appreciated. You can find me on peopleondating.com. That's peopleondating.com. Check out our past shows and check out our blog. Also, when you get a chance, please go to our YouTube channel, People on Dating. Please subscribe, share it, like it, do whatever you can, please. Please, please, please. Also, you can find me on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Anyway, on behalf of People on Dating, I'm Will Morales. Until next time, thanks everybody. Have a great day. And remember, it's just a conversation, no judgment. Thank you.